Remember like way back when we all thought we would all be wearing like those cool AR glasses by now?
Yeah,
Well, Meta's new prototype, this Meta Orion, might actually be the closest we've gotten, right?
it could be.
It's being talked about as like potentially replacing your smartphone.
It's getting a lot of attention, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's really interesting because it's not like putting, bunny ears on your selfies,
Right.
It's a
Yeah.
whole different ballgame. This is about taking digital information and like really pulling it into your world
Well,
seamlessly.
yeah. This article that we're looking at was talking about how Meta Orion is designed to look and feel like actual glasses,
Right.
not those big clunky VR headsets.
Yeah.
So, how are they packing so much tech into such a small package?
Well, a lot of it comes down to just the technology they're using. They're using silicon carbide lenses. They're really lightweight, really durable,
Okay.
and they're fitting these lenses with like these tiny projectors that can actually overlay images directly onto, what you're looking at.
Oh, wow.
And on top of that, they're using a 90 hertz refresh rate, which means that, you know, visually it should be super smooth, no lag,
Oh, really?
like really responsive.
That's impressive. But okay, what about control?
Yeah.
Because like I'm picturing people walking down the street doing like the weird Minority Report hand motions.
Right. Well, thankfully, it seems like, they've learned from those previous attempts.
Yeah.
Because instead of relying just on hand gestures, Meta Orion uses eye tracking, and it also has like a bracelet you wear that can actually read your finger movements
Oh.
through electrical impulses.
Oh, wow.
So that means you can like select apps and scroll through menus, interact with stuff just with, natural subtle motions.
course,
Like
yeah.
imagine just like, scrolling through your news feed just by moving your finger on like the arm of your chair.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
It's a lot more intuitive.
Right.
But I mean, let's be real, cutting edge tech is rarely cheap. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the article mentioned a potential price tag of, wait for it, $10,000.
Yeah.
Is that realistic? I mean, are there drawbacks to the tech at this stage?
Yeah. I mean, $10,000 is a hefty price tag.
Mhm.
So you're talking early adopters and developers at this point.
Yeah.
And it's still a prototype.
Right.
And the article did say that there are still a few visual glitches they're working out.
So not perfect yet.
Not quite.
But even if they work out those kinks, is there even enough AR content out there to justify buying a $10,000 pair of glasses?
That's a good point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not like there's a ton of AR content out there just yet.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Wild West out there right now.
It's like those early smartphones,
Exactly.
where it was cool, but what are you going to do with it?
Yeah, it's like we're waiting for that killer app, the thing that makes everyone go, oh, okay, I need these glasses now.
Okay, so is Meta like hoping developers will just figure it out?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they doing anything to help make that happen? Well, it sounds like they're trying to be proactive about it.
Okay.
The article mentioned they're already talking to developers, encouraging them to, build for this platform. They're really betting big on this idea that these glasses are going to replace our phones,
Wow.
like completely.
Okay, let's say that happens.
Sure.
Let's say they get the apps.
Yeah.
Are people really going to be okay ditching their phones, though?
Right.
I mean, we're pretty attached to them.
Well, and it's not just about, like, replacing one device for another, right?
Right.
It's about changing how we experience, well, everything.
Okay.
Like imagine, attending a meeting, but you're a hologram.
Right.
Or just walking down the street and having information about, like, the buildings around you pop up.
Okay, but then are we going to be bombarded by ads everywhere we go?
Yep. That's a valid concern.
And what about privacy?
Yeah. I mean, there are definitely some big questions there.
It seems like every time we solve one problem with tech, we just create a bunch of new ones.
It's true.
What do you think the biggest challenge will be if everyone is wearing these glasses like all the time? It's like we're stepping into some sci-fi movie, but it's becoming real.
Yeah. The line's getting blurry for sure.
Yeah.
I think the big question is, like, how does this change how we see reality?
Right.
If we've got all this digital stuff all over our vision all the time.
Right.
What's real and what isn't gets kind of fuzzy.
And how do we not get overloaded with information, right?
Yeah.
If I'm seeing like 50 things at once,
Exactly.
how do I know what to focus on?
You're going to have to get really good at filtering it out.
Right.
And that's, some of the article touched on. Like, it sounds like Meta knows this is an issue.
Okay.
So they're saying they're working on ways to, like, customize how much you're seeing. So you could filter the info, decide your level of, like, immersion.
So it's a lot of responsibility for them.
Huge.
Yay.
Because this isn't just a gadget.
Right?
this is how we're going to be interacting with the whole world.
So, like, what's the big takeaway you want folks listening to walk away with?
I think people need to remember, this AR future, it's not set in stone.
Okay.
Meta Orion's just showing us one possibility.
Right.
So it's really up to all of us to figure out how we want to use this, how to make sure it's actually good.
Yeah.
Like, our choices now matter a lot for what this tech becomes.
Wow. It's kind of deep when you think about it.
It is.
Every answer just leads to more questions.
That's the fun of it, though, right?
I guess so. Well, on that note, time to step out of the metaverse for us.
Back to reality.
At least for now. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
And until next time, stay curious.